Hey everybody, Rick Soukoulis here. Time to do a little mortgage math. This week we're going to attack home price values. I get a lot of folks after I post about the Fed and interest rates. I get a lot of comments and I get a lot of instant messages, people messaging me, asking me questions. And a lot of people are asking about home values. So I spent a little bit of time and researched it. I have a lot of real estate friends, know a lot of people in title and escrow, obviously lots of lenders, lots of mortgage brokers, and there's a lot of interesting things going on. So let me look at this from a big view. Back in 1980, the average price of a home in California was $100,000. By 1990, it was at $227,000. Over that decade, it doubled. From 1990 up to 2000, it almost stayed the same. It was flat. 227, 232 being the exact numbers. Well, what happened in that decade? Well, we went through this a couple of weeks ago in a video that I did, but interest rates were flat. They pretty much stayed at 9% for the entire decade. I personally believe that we're going to see interest rates get to their level, wherever that's going to be, and stay flat for quite a while. So that during that time, it was a great, robust market in the mortgage business. Not nearly as big as it was the last couple of years, but it was good. It was robust. So then what happens is we go into another time of an accelerated market. And the price from 1999 to 2006, it does 250%. It goes from 232 to 650. That's a big jump in price. And then, of course, the Great Recession hits, home prices drop, and here we are, Q1 of 19 at 646. And I got these numbers from the St. Louis Fed's website, Fred, so you can go look this stuff up for your state, and you'll see probably a very similar graph. So here we are, we go through this trough, and we come out of it 13 years later, and values are almost the same. Interesting. Tons of stimulus goes into the market, lots of money, the COVID happens, and all of a sudden in Q1 19, we shoot up almost in 2 years to 700. But look at what happens from 21 to 22. In 5 quarters, we go from 700,000 to 900,000. So a lot of people are saying, look, that's all gone. That's all going to get wiped out. That's going to be gone. Pooh, kiss it goodbye. It's 22%. From down here, it's 40%. I personally don't believe that that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see something a little bit different than that. And I was having dinner with Doug Duncan at an event here in San Francisco the other day. Doug Duncan is the economist for Fannie Mae. And he talked a lot about first-time home buyers and what kind of homes were being built and product availability. And then on the heels of that, one of our local brokers, Karen Shidoni, posted something about first-time home buyers moving up from 35% of purchases of new home purchases to 45%, right in line with what Doug was saying. And then, he talked a little bit about less builders. There's still going to be a supply issue, which should keep prices fairly stable. The other thing that he said that I thought was interesting is even though we're entering a recession, people aren't broke. People still have lots of money. People have saved their money. They have money. There's no going to be a rush for the door. And maybe real estate is going to go back to something you hold for the long haul, not for the quick buck, which is my personal opinion. So if you look at it from that standpoint, here's your borrowing power problem. An $800,000 loan at 3% payment's $3,200. To get that same amount of payment today, you can only get a $525,000 loan. So if you're one of the naysayers out there, you think there's going to be a big drop, which is cool. You think there's going to be somewhere like a 40% drop, that the mortgage payment amount is going to be the driver. People can only afford so much. I personally believe people have more cash on the sidelines to put to work, and we'll do that. Fannie Mae thought, and this is all public, no inside baseball, not secret, dinner stuff. This is Fannie Mae's website. Go take a look. That we might see property values change by 5% negative this year. Is that dramatic? No. It's not that much at all, and probably pretty likely as first-time buyers enter the market now able to buy. Home builders aren't building as much. The supply is still going to stay tight, and I think what you're going to enter into is this time of flat. I don't know what that period is going to be, but I know that in order for this big run that we had mortgages that we've been making since the 80s all the way through to 1999 that were north of 7%. That was a whole pent-up demand of mortgages to refinance. And so if this, if rates come back down in the next year, will there be some refinance activity? Certainly. Will they be going back to 3 in the foreseeable future? That might be your bet. It's not mine. And I don't think it's a very, broad view in the industry. But I think what you're going to see, put a bow on this, I don't think you see this huge drop. I think that Doug's probably closer. Fannie Mae is probably closer to what we will actually see. And I think you're just going to see a flattening of home price appreciation and really a very stable and steady market that comes out of this sometime in 24. I think the whole next year we're going to have elevated, interest rates and a very robust purchase market. Anyway, I hope this makes sense. I'd really love it if you would give your input. What do you think? Is it door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? Or do you think there's a door number 4? I have no dog in the fight, just interested in getting some information out there. If you're on our platform, look for a ton of new product coming from lots of lenders this week. Tons of buy down products, DPA programs, all sorts of things showing up on Ready Price. And we hope that we're helping you connect with more lenders. All right, Rick Soukoulis here. Thanks for taking some time with me.